Back to another episode of Grizzly True Crime. My name is Gisela K, and today we're going to be looking at everything we know so far in the disappearance of 20-month-old Quinton Simon. He went missing from his home on October 5th, 2022. He was last seen around 6 a.m., according to what his mother says, and her boyfriend in his playpen, and this was on Buckhalter Road in West Savannah, Georgia. He was last seen wearing a light blue Sesame Street shirt and black pants, and if you know anything, if you have any camera footage from a nearby house or in the area, if you see anything, please say something. The tip line number is 912-667-3134. Now, please note that there has not been an Amber Alert issued because there's no evidence of an abduction. Even though one out of many of the mother's stories, Leilani's stories, is that the door was open when she woke up and she believes that he walked out himself or was taken. So the police, though, are saying that there's no evidence of an abduction, which is why there's no Amber Alert. So let's just dive into a quick recap of the whole timeline, and then we can look at all the new clips. We've got the babysitter's new live stream that she did. We've got the fight that was recorded between the babysitter and Quinton Simon's grandmother. The grandmother actually barged into her house and was fighting with her, and the babysitter's daughter was recording it, so we've got footage of that. We've got map time to do. We can re-listen to the 911 call. We've got all kinds of updates. So let's have a look at all of that. Okay, so we'll start again with the basics of who's who. On Buckhalter Road, Savannah, Georgia. Quinton lives in the house with Leilani Simon, his mother, Daniel Youngkin, that's Leilani's boyfriend, and also the father of the infant baby girl that lives in the house. We've got Billy Joe Howell, who's Leilani's mother. We've got Thomas Howell, Leilani's stepdad. And then we've also got Quinton's older brother, Zane, and his infant sister. Zane's dad's name is Cody. And then we've also got apparently Leilani's brother living there on and off. Now, one brother is in prison. He committed a murder and he's been incarcerated, I believe, since around 2011. I stand corrected on that. I haven't actually checked his court records, but I believe that's who Quinton was named after. So that's interesting. So there's another brother, which would be then Billy Joe's other son. And sometimes he lives in the house on and off. So the stepdad did say that he was living there at the time. He was, because people asked him, news reporters, right? Who was in the house at the time? Who's living there? And he rattled off all the names. And then he said, and Leilani's brother. So it could be that brother. Here you can see a picture of Billy Joe Hell by the swimming pool with little Quinton. The swimming pool was drained just 2 days ago. So that is interesting as part of the investigation that they'd want a search warrant so they can specifically go and search the backyard area, the pool area, drain the pool. Then we've got a picture of Leilani over here. She's 22 years old. And then on the right-hand side, the babysitter, Diana McCarter. Quinton and his brother had a babysitter whose home they would drop at off every day. Now, this home is extremely close. It's literally line of sight from the Buckhalter home. So it's on the same street. We'll have a look at the maps after we look at this timeline so I can just show you how close it really is. Here, I've just made a collage for you of pictures of the parents of these kids, as many as I could find. Obviously, this would be Cody, Zane's father. That would be Quinton's older brother. He's older by about a year. And then there's a few pictures here of Leilani. She says they're pretty but psycho. She's got a few pictures on Facebook there, just so that you can see who Quinton's mother is. And then the Can I Live is an album made by the infant baby girl's dad, Danny, who's Leilani's boyfriend and was living at the house, the one who said that he last saw Quinton at 6 a.m. in his playpen when he left for work. And on the right-hand side as well, you can see Leilani, Danny, the two boys, and then she was pregnant at the time with the baby girl. So if we look at the timeline, we go back to September 7th, 2022. This was when there was a big fight between Billy Joe and her daughter Leilani, and Billy Joe wanted Leilani, her boyfriend, and the kids to be evicted. She actually filed for that eviction and says she doesn't want any costs to be paid to her for the damages to the property and things like that. She just wants them out. So that's what that is all about. I covered that in the episode that I've linked below for you. So go and check that out if you do want to read through all of this, or of course you can just pause and read it yourself. And then just other things to consider in the timeline. September 8th, right, 2022 is when Billy Joe wanted her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend to move out of her home. Billy has full legal custody of Leilani's kids. So that's interesting that the eviction notice, of course, did mention Leilani, the boyfriend, and the kids, needed to go. So I don't think they can go if she's got full legal custody of them. But this was a whole battle between Billy Joe and her daughter. She filed for eviction on September 16th. Leilani and Daniel found out about this eviction, but they did not want to leave. And then on Wednesday, October 5th, which is the same day that little Quinton went missing, Leilani hears that she actually lost a child support battle. Whether that has anything to do with anything, I don't know. I just put it here so that's part of the timeline, so we can see legal documents, timeline, what happened, where and when. And that is the day that little Quinton Simon went missing. So on Wednesday, October 5th, this is the day we're looking at and zoning in on. At 5:29 a.m., Diana, the babysitter, gets a text from Danny or Leilani. She actually says from Danny. So I just say or Leilani because we don't know. Maybe Leilani was telling Danny, you text her, whatever. But they texted the babysitter and said that she would not need to babysit that day, which was very strange for the babysitter because she said she would babysit whether Leilani was working or not or whatever she was doing. So she found that a bit weird. Then at 6 a.m., Danny leaves for work and it's the last time that Quinton is seen, apparently in his playpen. At 9 a.m., Diana receives a text message. Now, this is from Billy Joe Hell, but the babysitter herself said she got a text message from Danny. So I'm not too sure why Billy Joe said that she had called. Maybe she also called. Maybe she got a text from Danny and a call from Billy Joe, but Danny texted her to ask if she'd seen Quinton. So it's a little bit weird to think that Danny texted her at 5:29 to say, we don't need you to babysit today, and then again at 9 o'clock to say, have you seen Quinton? Now, that's a little bit strange thinking that he canceled the babysitting plans. However, if you see the map, which we will look at after this, the house is so close that baby Quinton could technically be able to walk out the door and run towards the babysitter's house if he wanted to, because it is that close. It's just a quick stroll away. So then at 9:42, a 911 call is made. So that's a lot later. That's 42 minutes even after Danny saying, hey man, have you seen Quinton? So I know that the family's gotten a lot of judgment for that, of course, because it's like, why wait from 5:29, right? You say, we don't need her to babysit. But then at 9, you're like, I don't know where he is. The babysitter comes over. She wants to help. You don't want to help. You tell her we've already looked. Okay? And they also tell her that she's like overstepping her boundaries and all the stuff, which is, it's a red flag. But then the babysitter says, have you called the police? Like, where is this child? Like, where could he be? And they say, oh, they haven't called them yet. So then at 9:42, the 911 call is made, which we'll have a quick listen to again.
We have a signal 56. Complaint about her 1-year-old son is missing. She woke up, her door was open, but as he's unable to open the door, saying someone came in and took him.
So then on Monday, October 10th, 2022, Chatham County PD had a press conference, which we all watched together. So make sure you check out that previous video so you can see all of that footage. Then they said the case has turned into a criminal investigation. The house was also prepared for forensic or luminol testing. We've seen this in cases before, of course, where they put black plastic, or they just black out the windows so they can do all their forensic testing in the home. And then they say that there's now 40 FBI agents assisting in the search for Quinton. The number to call again is 912-667-3134 if you do know anything. And lastly, here in this little timeline recap is the FBI missing person flyer. Quinton Simon, missing from Buckhalter Road, Savannah, Georgia, missing since October 5th, 2022. Male, white, date of birth, he's 20 months old. Clothing description, light blue Sesame Street shirt with black pants. He was last seen in the area of his home on Buckhalter Road in Savannah, Georgia. Authorities are requesting the public's assistance with any information related to his whereabouts. Anyone with information regarding this individual is asked to contact Chatham County Police Department at 912-667-3134 or call 911. So if you don't have that number saved, you don't remember it, just call 911. Tipsters can remain anonymous. Okay, now quickly we just want to show you on the map how close the babysitter's house is, just so that you can see, if it's a possibility. Could any of the kids, be familiar, of course, with the home? Of course they would be. They go there every day and have walked out the door and gone towards there. That's a possibility. So here is the home where Quinton lives with his grandmother, his step-grandfather, his mother, her boyfriend, and his older brother and infant sister, and on and off Leilani's other brother. So this is the home. And if you just swivel around, okay, this house over here is the babysitter's home. So if we drive towards there, buckle up, we drive towards there, okay, literally on the corner here is the babysitter's home. So the reason I'm showing you this is just so that you can see the line of sight, because she does talk about seeing them, smoking on the porch and, them being outside after going to McDonald's, and seeing that the kids are not outside. Nobody's outside. Nobody's running around. So yes, here is like the backyard sort of area. And if you just swivel around, you can see direct line of sight to the house. Okay, let's just go there again. Right here. Here's the house, all right? So there's the house, and there you can see from here, look at the line of sight. So that is what she's talking about. If she says she can see them on the porch, having a smoke, talking, if the kids are in the yard or whatever, that's where she could see it from. So I hope that makes more sense as well. Okay, and then from the babysitter's first live stream, we heard about Billy Joe, Quinton's grandmother, the one who has legal custody of him, barging into a house and accusing her of stealing the baby, and the whole fight broke out. The babysitter's daughter was actually recording this, and then Billy Joe did not like that and was trying to grab the phone out of her hand and all that kind of stuff. So here's a clip of that altercation that took place.
Don't put nothing in your yard. This is my baby, not yours. That's your right, but that's my baby. I texted you and I told you what was going on. Oh, so now it's my fault. You need to go get him.
Y'all need to get off the property.
I text you. I asked you over and over. I got the text. Over and over I asked you. So you want to blame me? I don't care about your text. You think I'm going to hit you at me? Do you think I would do that? Yeah. Really? Because you. I'm what?
No one likes
I'm
y'all.
what? I'm what? No, I don't blame nobody. I should not have been out of town. You did. You shouldn't have. No, I'm better. I was trying to provide. I told you. I was trying to provide. I even provided for you. You didn't. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I didn't pay for your family, your entire family. I didn't ask you. Your entire family. Keep recording.
Don't take my phone.
Keep recording.
Don't take my phone.
Good, you were wrong. You were wrong. I begged you to help. I begged you to help. Put that on social media. I begged you to help.
Oh yeah, and
I begged you to help.
I
said, hey, Michelle, please get the kids.
No, you're a liar.
Take them. I'll give you
Oh, you're a
300
liar.
a week.
Well, I'm about to put it all
I'm a
over.
liar.
I'm about to put.
I'm a liar.
I'm about to put it all over.
Good. Good,
All
because
over.
you're awful to say you're going to put a memorial. My baby's
You're a
not
liar.
dead.
You are a liar.
My baby's not
You are a
dead.
liar.
My baby's not
You are
dead.
You're a liar. You're a liar.
No, you are.
You are.
My baby's not dead. I thought you
I
was a
didn't
woman of
say
God.
that.
I thought you were a woman of God.
I am.
You got Quinton?
You're the one that-
Do you have Quinton?
I don't have Quinton. You're the one
Maybe
that
you
texted
do.
me.
Maybe you do. You got him.
Okay.
You got him.
Well, I'm about to call the police.
You're the only one that can go in my house and take him. Your kids go in my house and take him all the
Oh
time.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
We did not go in her house.
Oh, it's gonna be. Oh yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah, maybe we need to look at some green cars.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Okay, now let's hear from Brian Enton from News Nation, who's out in the area.
Well, Nicole, they are now calling this a criminal investigation. It just does not add up. How does a toddler go missing from a playpen? There are now 40 FBI agents in the Savannah area looking for this little boy. New today, you can hear the sound of a pump coming from the yard where 20-month-old Quinton Simon was last seen near Savannah, Georgia.
So that would be when they were draining the pool yesterday. And then you saw Billy Joe asking, like, does anyone know how I can fix my pool? I would think you just refill it, right? But since then, I think she's got a lot of heat online and she's deleted her Facebook. So the thing is, they were there draining the pool, which is interesting to consider that they would want to do that. There must be something that led them to do that, them being the investigators, of course. They then said that they have seized evidence which they believe can help them move the case forward. They are not disclosing what that evidence is, of course, because they don't want to compromise the investigation.
It appears police are now draining a swimming pool as the search for the missing toddler intensifies.
Now we are continuing to use every investigative resource available for us to locate little Quinton. We have conducted multiple interviews, executed multiple search warrants, and we've canvassed numerous specific geographic areas.
Police say little Quinton's mother told them she last saw him in his playpen around 6 in the morning Wednesday. The FBI is involved, and authorities have spent the last 5 days extensively searching the area near the family's home.
As you can see, they have horses, dogs, drones. There's 40 FBI agents helping in the case as well. Volunteer searches. At some point, they actually said, okay, we don't need any more volunteer searches. So that was interesting as well, kind of telling people just back off, we're doing our investigation. So I really hope that they will, find answers so that there will be closure in this case. It's sounding pretty grim right now. He's been missing since October 5th. So that is a very scary thought as well. But I am confident that they will be able to help bring answers to this family.
Everybody to help, everybody that knows anything, anybody.
So this is Billy Howell, Quinton's grandmother, the one who has legal custody of him. And next to her is her husband, which is Leilani's stepdad, so Quinton's step-grandfather. Now listen to what he says, because that's very interesting.
But he's just a baby.
Quinton's grandparents say the boy's mother's story does not make sense.
She's lied to us so many times. And I don't know, it's just bad to say, but she just likes to lie.
Police.
She's lied to us many times, and I know it's bad to say, but she just likes to lie. And I mean, from everything we've seen, even though she hasn't been on camera or done any formal interviews, appeared in front of the media, nothing. She hasn't said anything on social media. She must be talking to reporters, because reporters are saying what her story is. From the day I followed this case, initially they said that she last saw Quinton at 6 p.m., like the night before. Because I was still thinking that's the long time, from 6 p.m. until the next morning when she wakes up beyond 6 a.m. Because the story then was that Danny left for work at 6 and that Leilani woke up later. Then the story became that Leilani last saw him at 6 in his playpen. Then it became that Danny left for work and that she woke up later. And when she woke up, the front door was open and he was gone. So there's that. And then, so there's all kinds. It's just like there's all these stories all along the way that just seem to chop and change. And of course, that doesn't do anyone any favors in a case where emotions are running high. People are extremely concerned for Quinton. They're looking for him. And, his mom is changing her story the whole time. So that is a concern.
Police have been to the family's house before. According to police reports, family members say Quinton's mom has a history of stealing and using the money to buy drugs. Quinton's babysitter told News Nation station WSAV she heard from Quinton's mom early Wednesday morning when she said she didn't have to watch Quinton that day.
I get a text at 9 o'clock saying, "Have I seen Quinton?" I immediately go to their house. I try to help them look. They didn't want that. My heart is broken. I'm not his mother, I'm not his family, but I love him very much. And I just don't know what could happen. The police did a really good job of looking, and where does a 1-year-old go? They've covered a lot of ground.
I find it really sad how she continues to have to justify, I know I'm just a babysitter. I know I'm not his mother. I know I'm not family. And that's because of how defensive, of course, Billy Joe and Leilani are being, of like, you're just the babysitter. But she spent the most time with the kids because the kids were dropped off there at her house. So it wasn't like she came to their house to babysit. The kids were dropped off at her house and spent the days there, and she was only charging $15 a day for the two boys, and she would also have the infant with her at times, and she would only charge for the two boys $30 a day for a full day of looking after these kids. And I don't think that they I don't think that food and stuff would be compensated. I think she would have to feed them and stuff herself, so I just find it sad that she has to the whole time say, oh man, I know I'm not family, I know I'm just a babysitter, because she's done so much for these boys, for the kids, from everything that I've seen. We are going to look at her latest live stream as well right after this.
Okay, so again, police now saying that this is a criminal investigation. The police chief this afternoon said they are making progress, but he would not give details, saying he did not want to compromise the investigation.
Of course, and that's perfectly understandable, right? So now let's look at the babysitter's latest live stream.
Go live and I don't tell, people are asking different things, then, I'm not helping Quinton. But you're going to see a lot of different videos come out. And one of them is with his grandmother barging into my house. And the reason she barged into my house, and anything that I'm saying on here, I have proof of. She barged into my house, and I already made a video of this, but I need to clear some things up. She barged into my house because I offered to cook for her and to put flyers out. I don't understand why it made her so mad. She told me I was overstepping because I was just a babysitter. But if my child or my grandchildren was missing, and I do have grandkids, I would want any and everyone to help me. I was very emotional the other night when I went live because we were missing Quinton. We have all been worried about Quinton. I don't get on here for attention. I get on here because people say stay away from social media. But I need y'all to know when something is posted or I talk to someone that I need to explain when something happens the truth. Not my side, not their side, but the truth. Because a lot of people are saying, well, you're the babysitter, you should have did more. Look, I did what I thought was best. DFAX was aware of the situation. People can say, no, they wasn't, or they would have took them. Look, I don't know all the circumstances, but I know DFAX was aware. And I know that I did contact the grandmother a lot via text or calling because she had custody. DFAX was aware of this. She did barge in my house and she did get mad because she said I was putting up a memorial for her grandson. No, I never said that. I didn't know getting some people together praying for Quinton was putting up a memorial. I didn't know that cooking her food was overstepping my boundaries. I thought that that's what you should do when a family is going through something. So you're going to see a lot. You're going to hear a lot. But what I'm telling you is the truth. I did my best with these kids. I'm going to say this one more time because I get probably 2,000 messages a day. DFAX was involved 100%. I don't know what they seen. I know what was told. I do have pictures. Now, these babies didn't come to me every day with bruises. Quinton did have bruises, but he also fell a lot because he ran. I wasn't there. I don't know if his mother beat him or gave him them bruises. All I know is that when he was here, he was taken care of. The right people knew what was going on. It was up to them to fix this. It was not just me that seen this. It was half of the neighbors on this block, on this road. And not only did I say I was worried and did something about it, so did half of the people on our road. So I'm praying that Quinton is safe. I have faith in God that he is in this situation. I have nothing to hide. And I've been contacted by so many people to do different things, and I'm not doing it. I don't want the attention. Who would want attention with a baby missing? Like, somebody would have to be, it's just horrible to think that people would want to get attention when a child is missing. So, no, it's not that. We did care and love and do love Quinton very, very much. And for all these people that are assuming and saying things, please don't. Please don't. Don't assume and don't say things unless you know it to be true. Because half of this stuff that is being put out is not true. And it really hurts the fact that everyone is worried about Quinton, and you're just making this so bad when it should only be about Quinton, not about me, not about his grandmother, about Quinton. So I don't want to do no more lives. I want y'all to hear what I'm saying now. That's why I've repeated myself several times. I don't want no more messages. I don't want people coming by my house taking pictures of me and my daughters. So yeah, that's what happened when she come into my house. She thought I was trying to make a memorial, and I never did and never would have, because I believe Quinton is alive. I just don't know where he is. So I hope everyone has a good night. Thank you for all the positive comments. Thank you for all the people praying for Quinton, this precious baby. And that's all I got to say. Thank you.
So by everything we just heard, number one, please do not harass this lady or anyone. Some people race out there with their cameras and everything to film things, of the houses, of the families, taking pictures of the kids. No, don't do that. Also, I think she's talking about CHP, right? Child Protective Services, when she says that they were involved. I mean, they would be, because Billy Joe has legal custody of the kids. Leilani, the kid's mother, does not have legal custody of the kids. So that's already a red flag. That's not a normal situation, So I'm sure that they were involved and that they did already know about some of the things that were going on, right? So with bruises and things, because I know people were really attacking the babysitter for, if you saw bruises on Quinton's wrist and neck and on his brother, why didn't you say something? So she's saying she had said something. She'd communicated a lot also with Billy Joe, who has legal custody of them, raised concern multiple times, and that the Child Support Services would have known about it. Now, on Cinema Shogun's channel, he's actually got a local source that that lives out there, around the area, literally in proximity to these houses, and they just walked by and they could hear screaming coming from the house. So that footage I will insert here just so you could just see a clip of it. But I've been trying to hear, I've boosted the sound as much as possible. And with these ears, if you watched my loose ends video, you'll know a bit more about my ears. But with these ears, oh man, I just can't hear what they're saying. So I'm thankful that this lady says, an argument broke out at the home of missing 20-month-old Quinton Simon. This man happened to be there and recorded some of it. I've listened to it closely a million times, and I'm 99% sure she says, Leilani says something along the lines of, I need your support. But you're going to sit here and tell me I'm the reason my kid's gone? She sounds super defensive, guilty, and I'm glad her parents are questioning her. Listen to it loud, and more than once she talks fast. So listen to it yourself many times and let me know what you think is being said in the comments below, because man, I can barely make out what's really being said. But to think that there's so many arguments so loud that the whole neighborhood can hear it and are walking past and like, awkward, let's film this, is a concern as well. And lastly, just let's look at this from the New York Post, where they say investigators said Tuesday that they have obtained promising new evidence in the search to find 20-month-old Quinton Simon, who's been missing from his Georgia home since last week. We've seized evidence that we believe will help move this case forward, and we're now working to analyze the evidence to see where it leads us, the Chatham County Police Department said in a statement Tuesday. The police didn't provide any details on what the new evidence is and stated that they will not be offering any further public statements that day. Simon was last seen in his playpen at his home in Savannah around 6 a.m. on last Wednesday, October 5th in the morning. He was reported missing by his 22-year-old mother, Leilani Simon, about 3 hours later. Investigators have searched the family's home, backyard pool, a nearby pond, and other outside areas, but have not found little Quinton. Oh man, he is the sweetest thing. I really hope they find him and that they get some answers soon. I'll keep you posted on any further updates in this case. I'm watching it very closely. I'm very concerned about little Quinton. Please make sure that you like the video and share it. It's not for me, it's so that you can get it into the algorithm. Keep it there. Let's continue to cover it. I hope lots of content creators will cover this. Please use the hashtag Quinton Simon so that it's all categorized and easy for everyone to find all over social media. And let's make sure that we share, especially if you're in the Georgia area, share the number, the tip line, unless people just want to call 911. Share it with people, share the story with them. If you live in the area and you go to the supermarket, maybe ask, if people know about him, print out some flyers and pass that around. It could be really, really helpful in this case. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again very soon.